Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. So today we will be talking about ooey gooey delicious caramel fragrances. So if that interests you, please keep watching. Before we get started with the video, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Roxanne and this is Roxanne's Retreat. If this is your first time joining me, thank you and welcome. And if you've been here before and you've decided to come back, big up your whole self. Truly appreciate your continued support of my channel. As always, before we get into the fragrances let's talk about my scent of the day. So today I am wearing Tribeca from the house of Bond No. 9 in New York. Tribeca is one of the faves. We know it's a cult favorite. Tribeca has notes of hazelnut, there's cacao, there's caramel somewhere in there, and Roxanne. I think there might be some jasmine or something like that, which I don't get. I don't get on my skin at all. On my skin, I get something like really sweet, very addictive, great for cooler weather. You know, it's a fragrance that is well blended and it is a love for me. So this is Tribeca from the house of Bond No. 9, New York. Okay, y'all. So the first fragrance I want to talk about today is this one from Imaginary Authors, and this is a whiff of a waffle cone. Y'all, I love this fragrance. I love it. So Whiff of a Waffle Cone was introduced in 2020. Retails for $115. The notes include syrup, caramel, ice cream, whipped cream, vanilla, cinnamon, and amyris. What do I get on my skin? It's not ooey and gooey. I'm gonna spray some on the inside of my hand. It's not ooey gooey caramel, but you could definitely smell the caramel in this fragrance. So to me, it's obviously more vanillic, you know, with that. To me, it smells like vanilla ice cream, and then there's the vanilla in there, but the caramel gives it a little bit of depth. So it's sweet, and you can get like that, the caramel vibe. It's not dripping, you know, it's not ooey and gooey, but you could almost palpate. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but you could almost feel the caramel in this fragrance. Yeah. It's really good, y'all. Very addictive. I'm also getting like a lot of that toffee on my skin whenever I wear this. If you're into like very sweet fragrances, because basically I would say all the ones on this list are very sweet except for one, and I'll let you know. But yeah, if you're into that sweet vibe, and Imaginary Authors, if you guys don't already know, like when they make their fragrances, it's supposed to take you there, you know. So the name of the house, Imaginary Authors, so then they're talking about something that, you know, they make the fragrance so it could bring that to your mind, like you're actually smelling waffle cones. And this is fairly photorealistic. So if you haven't gotten your nose on a whiff of a waffle cone, I suggest you do so if you're into these types of fragrances. Sweet, better for the cooler weather. Yeah, whiff of a waffle cone from Imaginary Authors. Love this fragrance. Okay, next up we have a cheapie, and this one is from Sabrina Carpenter, and this is Sweet Tooth Caramel Dream. I got a little pen mark on mine. Y'all, my fragrances, they go through things, you know. But anyways, this one is Sweet Tooth Caramel Dream. This one was brought to us in 2023, retails for $32. So definitely, you're getting some bang for your buck. So this note structure, there is sugar, almond milk, orange, freesia, and lemon. In the middle, we have dark chocolate, vanilla, orange blossom, and orchid. In the base, we have caramel, patchouli, sandalwood, musk, and amber. I will tell you this. Despite, or in spite of all the notes mentioned here, what I get on my skin is caramel and vanilla, y'all. Caramel and vanilla. I guess the patchouli is in there to ground the fragrance. It's creamy, but I think it's coming from the vanilla, but it might be coming from the sandalwood. Don't get any orange blossom or anything like that. I might get a little bit of tonka bean, but I don't even think tonka bean is in here. But anyways, on my skin, this is a very easy to wear caramel forward fragrance. I wear this fragrance to bed mostly or around the house. It's pretty. Probably gives me about 4 hours on the skin. It's moderately wearing. And I think it's really good for the price. I think it fits the price. It's good for the price. The packaging is kind of cute. At first when I saw these years ago, I'm like, what is that? Now I know. Now I know it's fragrance. I've never tried the pink one or the red one. This one has been in my collection and I actually really like it. So Sweet Tooth from Sabrina Carpenter, $32. A lot of bang for your buck. This is a very pretty caramel forward fragrance. I said Sweet Tooth, but it's Sweet Tooth Caramel Dream from Sabrina Carpenter. Great cheapie. You will get the same feels of caramel on your skin at this price. Okay, next up we have this one here from Ellis Brooklyn, and this is Queen's Caramel. So Queen's Caramel came on the scene this year. It's a 2025 release. It retails for $115. Note structure, we have caramel, maple, honey, sugar, and salt in the opening. Then in the middle, we have white chocolate, coconut, vanilla, orchid, and jasmine. In the base, we have vanilla, tonka bean, amber, and musk. This fragrance has been getting a little bit of hate. I mean, and I don't understand why. Because I did not expect anything else. I mean, I was expecting like a really ooey gooey caramel fragrance, and that's what I got. Not disappointed. I mean, it's caramel, right? It's vanilla. There's honey, there's maple, so it's sweet. It's, when you spray it on, you need to check your blood sugar sweet, okay? It's good though. I like it. Now, is it groundbreaking? Absolutely not. But what did we think we were going to get? I see and I get the comparisons to Bianco Latte somewhat, but Bianco Latte on my skin does something absolutely different than Queen's Caramel gives me on my skin. So, to me, because of my own skin, I believe that they're not overlapping at all. I find that they're different enough to own both of them. But, again, it's up to you. It's your pocket. But, yeah, Queen's Caramel, sweet. You gotta love a sweet fragrance. To me, I get that stickiness. You know what I tried to say in the beginning? That a whiff of a waffle cone doesn't have like that stickiness. This one has it. Like I can feel the sticky sweetness in this fragrance. I could actually feel it. Okay, so obviously it's better for weather that is cooler. This is a fragrance that I will be wearing to run errands. Again, sit around the house, something like that. That's the category that this fragrance falls into. But is it a fragrance that I like? Absolutely. It's not a love per se, but I actually like it enough for it to stay in my collection. So this is Queen's Caramel from Ellis Brooklyn. Okay, next up we have this fragrance here. This is called Caramel Oud from Theodorus Calatinus. I don't know if I said that right. Probably not, but forgive me. Caramel Oud. So this fragrance was brought to us in 2023. Retails for $55, so quite affordable. Note structure, we have caramel, toffee, oud, and saffron. I do get the saffron. I do get a lot of saffron in this fragrance, which makes it truly a joy for me because it takes away that sickeningly sweet vibe, and it makes the fragrance, again, in my opinion, just a little bit more well balanced. But it depends on what you're looking for. So if you're looking for something that's absolutely diabetes inducing, Caramel Oud is not the one. You get like that delicious caramel, you do get it, but the oud and the saffron takes it in a different direction. A much different direction than any other of the fragrances that I mentioned or I'm about to mention is gonna take you. So this is not like straight caramel ooey gooey goodness. However, this fragrance probably lasts the most on my skin than any of the others on this list. This gives me 8+ hours on the skin. And why do I think that's happening? I think it's the oud. I think it's the oud in the base. Yeah, I really do. And I like this one. I like this one a whole lot because I feel like I can do different things with this one. I mean, this one to me smells a little bit more mature and grown up. You know, caramel with an edge, maybe. That's kind of how I can describe it. But I love it. Yeah. Gives a whole different vibe of a caramel fragrance. So if you're interested in something that's a little bit different, a little bit of a departure from just straight sweetness, try Caramel Oud, and it is quite affordable, all right? Lasts forever on the skin, affordable, and smells amazing. It's not a stinky oud, by the way. It's there, but it's just, to me, it's there, but it's not disturbing. But you can smell it. So if you don't like oud or if you're sensitive to oud, you probably should stay away because it's there. It's pronounced. So yep, this is Caramel Oud from, let me take my time, Theodorus Calatinus. Hooked on phonics and I'm learning to read, y'all. Get your nose on it. Next up, we have another inexpensive beauty. Yo, this list has more affordable fragrances than I usually talk about. I need to do better. Anyways, Jessica Simpson's Fancy. This is actually a cult favorite. So this came to us in 2008. Dang, this has been around this long. And it retails for $25. And you probably could find it cheaper than $25. Note structure, we have apricot, pear, red berries in the opening. Then there's caramel, almond, gardenia, jasmine in the mid. And in the base, we have vanilla, amber, and sandalwood. She's fancy, and I love her. Now, this fragrance to me does not smell cheap. It doesn't smell like it costs $25. I feel it rivals the ones that cost $100 and change. This is a very interesting, very fruity take on a caramel fragrance. I get the fruits. I get the fruits on this paper and I get the fruits on my skin. And then the caramel comes in and kind of takes over. And with that vanilla and, is it musk? No, it's vanilla and sandalwood in the base. It gives it in addition to being sticky and sweet that the caramel brings, it gives it like this creamy facet. And if you like sweet caramel fragrances, you can't go wrong here. You cannot go wrong here. And this is just so interesting. It's not just straightforward caramel. There are fruits in here that brings just a different take, a different like vibe that I absolutely enjoy. This is my second bottle of Fancy. And yeah, I'm well on my way. This gives me about 4 to 5 hours on the skin, and it performs moderately. So for $25, y'all, I am mad at it. I cannot be mad at Fancy. So this is Fancy from Jessica Simpson. If you're into fragrances, you smell this. If you're into sweet fragrances, this better be in your collection, or it would have been in your collection at some point, okay? So this is Fancy from Jessica Simpson. Okay, so this fragrance, y'all, you will see by the presentation that it's been through some things. And we are going to put a picture of the actual fragrance bottle up so you can know what it really should look like. Because mine is missing pieces. That's because I wear it. And this is Madera from Omnia. I can't stop laughing. Okay, let me gather myself. And this is Madera from Omnia Profumi. Okay? Now, if you know this fragrance and you know this bottle, you know it's missing something. And listen, I don't know where it went. I know it was falling off. I think I tried to like glue it back on or something. Obviously, I wasn't successful. But here we are. We don't care. We just care about the juice, okay? So Madera was brought to us in 2007. Retails for $175, and if you pay that, you're out of your mind, okay? Because it's been around. You could find it. There was a point, though, that this was sold out everywhere. A couple years ago, it was sold out everywhere. But yeah, the notes. So Madera has caramel, vanilla, coconut, musk, floral notes, wildflowers, and peach blossom. So what's the difference between floral notes and wildflowers, Fragrantica? I don't know. But anyways, this fragrance, she's good. So you get this to me, right? Smells like a caramelized dessert. So it could be anything with caramel. Maybe the caramel is a little burnt. Maybe like a creme brulee. But it is a coconut infused creme brulee. Yeah, that's what I get. I do get some floral nuances. I can't really, it says floral notes. I can't really pick out any flowers per se. But I definitely could get that coconut. So to me, this is a coconut infused creme brulee. So it's like caramelized. The caramel is a little bit cooked. And then there's coconut nuances in here. Great fragrance, still relevant almost 20 years later, right? Good. The performance is good. 6 hours on the skin, moderately wearing, moderate sillage, moderate projection, compliment getter. This is also a good fragrance to layer. I've layered when I wanted something a little bit caramelly, coconutty, and I didn't want to wear this fragrance. I layered it with something else, and it worked really well. Yeah. She is, if you like caramel fragrances, you need to add her. You need to add her because she's a little bit more than just caramel. She's quite interesting. And it's that coconut note, which if you've been here a long time, you know coconut and I, we have a love-hate relationship. It depends on how it's done. In here, it does not bother me. I get it, but it's just like, you know, an essence of coconut. Like I said, it's like a caramel dessert infused with some coconut. So yep, this is Madera from Omnia. Is it Omni Profumi? Yeah, from that house. Don't mind my bottle. She's missing some things. But the fragrance is amazing. Get your nose on it if you haven't already. Okay, next up we have another fragrance with caramel and coconut. And this is VANEXSTASY from Maison Tahiti. So this fragrance was brought to us in 2021 and it retails for $125. Now in terms of the note structure, it opens with caramel, coconut, and milk. In the mid, we have vanilla absolute, Peru balsam, and in the base, we have sandalwood and cedar. Sandalwood and cedar. It seems like there's a lot of sandalwood and cedar in the base of everything today. This fragrance to me it's like a creamy caramel. I don't know if the cream is coming from the coconut or the milk or both, or even the sandalwood and the vanilla. But it's creamier than the one we just talked about. Creamier than Madera. Yeah, probably the creamiest on this list, to be honest. But it gives me like, again, another caramelized dessert with coconut, but this time it's not the coconut flakes, because I think the other one feels more like coconut flakes and this one feels like the coconut cream, you know, like what you get from squeezing after you grate or blend pieces of the coconut, you know, that coconut milk, the cream that you squeeze, you put water in what you grated or blended up and then you squeeze it out and that's the milk. That's what I feel like this, that's the texture. It just says coconut in the notes. I don't know if it's coconut milk, coconut shavings, but it feels like milk to me. All right. On my skin, VANEXSTASY has like this creamy quality, which again could come from the regular milk or maybe it's more so the milk of the coconut, but it's good. I love this fragrance. Definitely, again, better for cooler weather. Gives me about 6 hours on the skin. And you know, this house, I really like this house because the fragrances are so affordable, but it doesn't take a hit with the quality, so to speak. It doesn't smell, you know, less worthy than, for instance, which I don't have on my list today, but it could definitely be on the list. Bond number 9, New York Nights, definitely a caramel bomb. But so this, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, even though this is like hundreds of dollars less than New York Nights, you can't tell from spraying the fragrance or from smelling the fragrance in the air or on your skin. They're different, of course, but yeah, really, really like this one. VANEXSTASY from the house of, well, from Maison Tahiti. Great fragrance. Get your nose on it if you haven't done so. It's definitely worth a sniff. Definitely worth a sniff. Wear it a lot, running errands or at the house when it's cooler. Just for some context. Okay, next up we have this fragrance here from a house. I don't have anything else from that house, but this is Mona Lisa. I think it's called Les Originales from Noble Art. Now, this fragrance, I think, was released this year. Forgive me when I'm saying I think, but it was released this year. It retails for about $180. The notes, we have caramel, raspberry, and coconut in the opening. In the mid, we have almond and tonka bean. And in the base, you have musk and cedar. I smell vanilla in here. Yeah, so there must be some vanilla in here somewhere because I get some vanilla. Anyways, how does the fragrance smell? Okay, so picture this, right? Picture this. Picture like a raspberry dessert that's drizzled in caramel, with caramel, and some creamy coconut in that dessert. Does that make sense? So in the opening, what I get is a raspberry drizzled dessert with raspberries and coconut, because I'm getting the coconut also. But that caramel and the raspberry, smells so good in the opening. In the mid, it's like nutty and smooth. It's sweet, it's nutty, it's smooth. And in the base, you get this creamy, cozy, vanillic dry down with some woody nuances. Okay? This fragrance, although like just listening to it, it might seem like overly dense. It's not. Because it's sweet, it's creamy, yet airy at the same time. Go figure. Go figure. But I have quite a few fragrances in my collection that are like sweet and airy at the same time. And I kind of go for those fragrances just because of my geographical location. So this fragrance, what does it remind me of? So I can give you some context, because this is not a fragrance that everybody has or everybody's talking about, or maybe, but I haven't seen it. Think Note of Sugar, but Note of Sugar has that blast of pineapple, which this does not have. But think that, add raspberry, take out the pineapple, and think a little less synthetic than Note of Sugar, okay? The other fragrance that I can compare this to is Minnie Mouse from House of Sillage, the original Minnie Mouse, the red one. Okay, not the 100th anniversary, none of that. It's the regular caramel one. This smells kind of like it. So yeah, those are your references for this fragrance. A gourmand lover's dream. A gourmand lover that lives in a really hot climate dream. Because this does not, and it has not gotten like super cloying or anything like that on my skin. I've worn this quite a few times. Maybe about 3 times. Looking at my dent, maybe about 3 times I've worn this fragrance. Running errands, in the house. Performance, really good. 7+ hours on the skin. And this is projecting, and it leaves a delectable trail. Compliments for sure. Okay, I've gotten compliments. I've gotten stopped wearing this. What are you wearing? You smell so good. So good. That's it. They can't really put their finger on it. But this is good. And it does not smell, although, you know, you think of the notes and you think of gourmands, it does not smell like childish or anything like that. I feel like anybody could wear this. Geez, I'm wearing it. So, you know, it does not feel like juvenile or anything like that. It just smells amazing. So if you haven't gotten your nose on it, please do. Please get your nose on it. I will link where this is available. So if you want, you could purchase it. But yeah, Mona Lisa from Noble Art. Definitely a gorgeous caramel leaning fragrance. Last but not least, we're gonna end this off with a body spray. Why not? And it's from Fleur. It's Caramel Skin from Fleur. These Fleur body mists, y'all already know, because if you are connected in the frag community, you know that the Fleur body mists, they behave like fragrances. Actually, I prefer Vanilla Skin, the body mist, than the fragrance. I have the body mist. I don't have the fragrance. So Caramel Skin was introduced in 2024. Retails for $38. Yeah, money well spent. I will say that. So the notes, we have caramel and bergamot in the opening. In the mid, we have caramel milk and vanilla bean. And in the base, we have brown sugar, sandalwood, and musk. What do I get on my skin? Is just a delectable, when I tell you a delectable caramel, it is so sweet and so photorealistic. Of all the fragrances I sprayed with the caramel, this is the only one I really want to eat. This is the only one I really want to lick. This is good, y'all. This is good. And it performs like a fragrance. If you're looking for something just to add some caramel goodness or some sweetness to a fragrance, Caramel Skin is a good option. The price is right, and it performs better than it should be performing. Caramel Skin gives me 6+ hours on my skin, okay? 6+ hours on my skin. I've worn this running errands, in the house, to bed. It is gorgeous. For a body spray, this gives you all the caramel feels. All of it, okay? All of the caramel feels right here in this hair and body mist. So this is Caramel Skin from the House of Fleur. They make the best body sprays. Hands down. Come out with more, Fleur. We want more. Okay, y'all, so that brings us to the end of the video. Let me know in the comments. Put me on to some more caramel fragrances. So the ones I spoke about today, they are not the only caramel forward fragrances in my collection, but these are the ones I decided to talk about. I wanted to keep it a little bit more of an affordable bunch of fragrances, because I tend not to do that. But I can only speak about what I have. Okay, so anyways, like I always say, we could be anything in this world we want to be. With hard work, dedication, perseverance, we can do it. But in the meantime, while we're getting there, we need to smell like good people. We need to smell fabulous at all times. Smell like caramel goodness, okay? In the cooler weather. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.